Hello, everyone. Good evening. We will give a couple of minutes before we get started. I'll be uh, taking today's webinar along with Debjyoti. Debjyoti has joined us all the way from US for this webinar. So please make the best use of this. Now, before we get started, let me introduce myself. So, my name is Utkarsh, and I have been associated with Interview Kickstart from the last 3 years. As a part of IK team, what I get to do is talk to a lot of hiring managers like Debjyoti who are working in Mang Plus companies in India as well as in the US. And what we try to do is bring the best and the latest tech knowledge for you. And in today's webinar, we are going to talk about one such topic which is hugely popular in today's day and age, which is agentic AI. Now, let me quickly walk you through the agenda. Okay. And the agenda for today is power packed. There are 5 sections we are going to cover. In the first section, we will be talking about how the market has progressed, where we are with respect to agentic AI. Then we will talk about what are agentic AI systems. In the third section, we are going to talk about how we can deploy AI agents. And in the fourth section, we are going to talk about how we can help you to build a industry specific agentic AI portfolio. A lot of you might not be aware about Interview Kickstart. So let me just give you a background. We as a company started 10 years ago in Silicon Valley. We have trained around 25,000 engineers so far, and thousands of them are working in tier one companies. If you want to wish more about us, you can read in TechCrunch, Forbes, Bloomberg, and so on. This year, we were also selected as top 100 edtech companies across the world. And twice in a row, we have been selected as top 150 transformational edtech companies by GSV. Now, what is GSV? GSV is one of the biggest investor in education sector. Okay, before we get started, what I wish to do is that we want to understand how many of you have knowledge about agentic AI. Okay, so we will go ahead, launch a poll, and please go ahead, participate in the poll so that we'll get an idea what is the maturity level of today's audience. Now, the question is very straightforward. Have you built a system using AI agents before? Okay, I can see 45% of you have participated. I'll request uh, rest of you also to participate. Now, majority of the folks here, what we see is around 80% of you have not worked and around 20% of you have worked in such a system. So we'll keep this point in mind, okay? And what we'll do is, as I am going through the slides, we'll request all of you to just introduce yourself in 2 lines. Talk about your job role and what you are expecting from today's session. What is your expectation? Where we can help you? What kind of questions you have? You can also put that in the chat. So let me get started. I can see people are still joining in, so we'll give a few more minutes, but I will start to cover the initial few slides. Now, the age of agentic AI is here. Why we say so? So this is a diagram with Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of NVIDIA. He used in the NVIDIA keynote, which happened at the start of the year. And we have just borrowed it from there. And what he showcased, how is the journey of AI ML in the last 10 years or so. So in 2012, we were sitting at AlexNet, which was the deep learning model. Then it took us 6 years to have major advances in deep learning. We are talking about computer vision models, NLP models, and so on. Then in 2022, generative AI came and the name of the game has changed after that. We have seen how fast things are moving. And within 3 years, we are sitting in agentic AI era. And this is the hype all about nowadays. Everyone is talking about agentic AI model capabilities, how it can change the whole world has done automation till now. Now, what everyone is saying agentic AI is going to transform every business and software workflow. And let me give you a few examples. Amazon is trying to refashion Alexa into AI agent. Meta is expecting that every business will start using agentic AI. Google, I think around December last year, they have launched Agent Space to bring AI agents to enterprise. And OpenAI recently launched the agentic capability uh, for everyone on ChatGPT. Okay. And if you are following the news, you must have seen that every couple of days, something new is happening across these models, across the capabilities. Now, the favorite quote which is there on the screen out of these three, the favorite one which I have is when Satya Nadella talked about how AI agents will transform SaaS as we know it. Okay, we don't know whether this will happen or not, or SaaS will end up implementing AI agents enough so that they are not getting replaced. But his logic was very solid. He said, "What is SaaS? It's a database, it's a front end and back end logic. Now, back end logic has limitation. The more you code, the more back end logic you are able to build. Now, what is the limitation there? Manpower. You cannot build every feature. You cannot build dashboard for every possible use case. So that's where prioritization comes into picture. So in all your organization, you must have seen that there is a prioritization cycle where you sit and decide which feature to develop and which to let go of. But what if AI agents take care of that? Because they are autonomous agent, they can get data from the database and give answer your business query, right? So that is the power which we are talking about. Now let me move to the next slide. What we did in the last quarter here in India, we took around 10,000 open job roles from LinkedIn. And we analyzed various job roles, how the hiring is happening. And we saw numbers which were really amazing. And I have taken just two slides from that study. In the first slide, if you see, 25% of open job roles when it comes to software engineering are asking for generative AI expertise. And now slowly that is shifting towards agentic AI, how it is impacting the role of a software engineer. So they are expected to develop multi-agent systems for autonomous decision makings. People now are not waiting for a machine learning engineer to come and do that for you. Then they are automating complex coding tasks, including debugging and optimization. Obviously, software reliability is also increasing. Now, the third point here is a very interesting point. Currently, a lot of you who are coding, almost all of you, I'm assuming, are using some kind of LLM as a co-pilot while you are coding. It is giving excellent result nowadays. It has increased the efficiency of software developers, but still it is dependent on your prompt, how much context you are able to give. The next era which people have started envisioning is agents sitting and coding for you. Even the testing and debugging is happening, and then one agent is fixing all the code and trying to develop things end to end. So that means there is more automation waiting for us for software engineering tasks in the future. So what a software engineer is going to do? Software engineer, then if the coding starts happening through these agents, software engineers have to manage these agents. They have to figure out how we are passing the data, what kind of architecture which we are using, and so on. The same is happening for engineering manager or senior engineering leaders jobs as well. Now, the senior engineering leader, they are expected to drive AI enabled initiatives end to end. They have to decide what is the ROI of the project which they are going to implement. They have to decide between build versus buy decision and so on. So that is the opportunity waiting for them, and how an engineering leader can gain a competitive edge in this market. We saw other job roles as well. For data engineer, this number was around 50%. For product manager, this I think was around between 15 to 20%. So we see that generative AI as a tech is now becoming mainstream. Earlier, AI ML was a discipline which was done by data scientist and machine learning engineer. Now, all other job roles are also expected to work on AI tech, and for that, they need to understand AI. Now, how it is going to impact you? Okay, there are few job roles. Is there other proof that you as a tech professional should start learning AI? Now, this survey is from last year. AWS did this survey for 500 employers. Okay. Now, these are the few key findings which came out from that survey. So if you see the second graph, leaders are saying, 3 out of 4 leaders, more or less, they are saying, I will hire a person who has less experience but knows how to work on AI compared to a person who does not know how to work on AI. 66% leaders said that I'll not hire someone without AI skill. And we talk to learners on a daily basis. We have seen that companies have started introducing AI rounds or AI specific questions during interviews. In the last few months, I have met a lot of DevOps engineers who are coming and saying that I am going for a DevOps interview, AI is being asked. Then there are data engineers. I've seen the same pattern there. Software engineers, now vibe coding is the new big thing. So we are living in a day and age where tech professionals are expected to know about AI, work on AI projects, and work at 10x what they used to do maybe 5 years earlier. Now, this is not only about hiring preferences, there is a differential in salaries as well. So if you see here, this is the graph we did by comparing the median salaries in tier 1 companies in India. And if you see here that people who are AI enabled, the software engineers who knows how to work on AI projects, they are getting higher salaries across job roles, across levels. And as you move upwards, the difference is getting bigger and bigger. So it's not about the hiring preferences, even you are getting a premium on your salaries as well. Now you will ask, Utkarsh, why someone will give me a higher salary? It's very simple. This is a supply and demand issue. Okay. Especially in India, there was a survey recently where they figured out that for every 10 job roles which required generative AI expertise, agentic AI expertise, only one person is available who is skilled enough to do that job. When there is a supply demand mismatch, demand is very high, supply is less, what happens? The prices go up. So we are just following the simple economics principle where AI enabled tech professionals are getting a premium on their salaries. Now you must be wondering, why should I learn agentic AI? I hope a lot of you I have already convinced, but if you are not convinced, I'm just going to tell you a small story. Okay. And this is a story which all of you can relate with. So this is the story of Mahesh. He is a marketing lead in a B2B SaaS startup. And what he is facing, his reports are breaking every week. Okay. And he is pissed. You must have seen your business stakeholders, your clients who are not happy with their reports, their software systems not working properly. Now he is getting into a discussion where someone is talking about, let's move everything to Tableau. Then they realize, oh, they don't have a Tableau expert. Do they need to hire? Then they are discussing, let's move to database. One enthusiastic is coming, why not let's develop everything in-house? That is not the problem. Tech team is going to find a solution for Mahesh very soon. The problem is the choking pipeline. It's always full across organizations. Okay, there is a lot of backlog, and everyone has to go and prove that my project should be picked up because it has more business impact. Now, this is a usual cycle. What happens? There is a planning, then people create BRDs and PRDs, then the product goes through a prioritization cycle, then the development happens, then the testing happens, and then things go live. Now, based on your experience, what do you think? How much time will it take for Mahesh to get those simple reports? So there is a small poll. Can we go ahead and launch that poll? So in that poll, what we want you to select is based on your experience, how long it will take for a product request like what Mahesh is saying to move from prioritization to delivery. Okay, there are four options. One is 1 to 2 weeks. Then second option is 1 to 2 months. Third option is hard to say. Hiring always takes a lot of time. And then there is the most pessimistic option. It might not get picked up at all because there is a backlog. I can see a lot of you have started responding. 40% of you have responded. I'll suggest please go ahead, take this poll. This is one of the most interesting thing which we do as a part of this webinar. So what I see is majority of you, around 40% of you have selected 1 to 2 months, followed by hard to say hiring delays make it uncertain. Then 20% of you have selected 1 to 2 weeks, and less than 10% have selected it might not get picked up at all. Now let me move to what happened in case of Mahesh. Okay, he took Agentic AI solution and built it in 2 hours. Actually, 2 hours is very optimistic. It will take around 2 days to create such a solution. Okay. Now, you must be wondering how it is possible to create something like this in 2 days. And that is the power of Agentic AI. And I am someone who is like Mahesh because I have gone through this cycle, and I am trying to create reporting system on my own using agents. It's straightforward, but still I get stuck somewhere here in between. But the main idea is it is faster, it is much cheaper, and it is customizable. The beauty of this is once this system is set up, right, you can go on, keep on asking your queries to agent, and it will keep on giving you results. It will not go back to that old prioritization cycle, right? Why? Because how Satya Nadella said, it's a backend system which is written on a very old logic, not the AI logic, where whatever you code, that is what you get as an output. But agentic AI system, they can think autonomously and then they can execute as well. So that is the beauty of this. Mahesh wanted to see 6 reports, but he can see 60 also because he has to just type his query to the agent. Now, without further delay, for rest of the session, I'll pass it on to Debjyoti. Let me give you a quick introduction for Debjyoti. He's an applied scientist at Amazon, and he has worked on implementing large-scale AI solution across retail, ads, and e-commerce. He has worked on multiple ML systems. It includes recommender system, anomaly detection, fraud detection, and generative AI. So you can see more and more things here in his profile, causal modeling. He has been mentoring teams, blending research. But the biggest advantage of learning from Devjyoti is he loves to mentor folks. He is an active instructor for our learners, and he is one of the top rated instructors for Interview Kickstart. So without further delay, Devjyoti, I'll pass it on to you and I'll stop sharing. You can go ahead, share your screen, and we'll take this session forward.
Thanks, Utkarsh. Let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so I thanks Utkarsh for giving such a nice introduction and leading all the way through. So I hope a lot of you must be following news and you have been seeing CEO of different companies like Microsoft and Google are coming up and talking about AI agents every day. In a recent, I think, um, in a recent news, it came out that Microsoft now has this AI agents, which serves as chief of staff. So Microsoft has Copilot Studio, and a lot of companies, when they're using Copilot Studio, they can build their own agents, and these agents can do bunch of things for them. There is a news where an executive wrote a 40-page document and found it to be really really good as compared to like something written by their team. So AI agents are really at that standards. You must be wondering that, like ChatGPT or Anthropic, all of these can do the same thing. So what's the fuss about, AI agents? Um, the so I think when GPT-3 came into the picture, I don't know how many of you got a chance to play around with GPT-3. GPT-3 came around 2023. It was a large language model, and people were very fascinated. But AI was at a very early stage. That was a time, last time I think we saw models as a standalone thing. After that, whatever has come is an AI agent. So right now, if you go to ChatGPT and type something, you see that ChatGPT doesn't respond just from its knowledge. It goes and it searches the web. It can pull up multiple kinds of information for you from different sources. It can read research papers, it can summarize research papers, it can even read code and summarize that. So all of these, and even ChatGPT has ways in which it can run code inside its editor or inside the chat window. And it's not about ChatGPT. I think most of the AI large language models or the chat agents that we call them are agentic system because they are not just big LLMs. And I think Google CEO Sundar Pichai rightly pointed this out that now the experience that we are having in the internet is slowly being transformed by AI agents. So we are not realizing, but a lot of the changes that we'll see will be powered by AI agents. And you have already started seeing some of this. If you go to any of the banks or telecom, and you'll see that the chat agents or the customer support agents are becoming better and better. Previously, if you had to use such chat agent, you would not get a lot of information. Right now it can go and fetch FAQs. It can also do certain tasks for them. For example, I was interacting with one of the insurance agent, and it could, if with one trigger of a button, it was able to schedule a meeting with one of the human agent, and that helps in structuring a lot of their workflows because the human agents times get streamlined. The second thing that happens is, like, it can, also help you pay your bills. It can also help you get multiple quotes. So all these things opens up huge opportunities for the companies to use this technology to power their sale, their kind of operations. Going as we move forward, we'll see a lot of customer service will be taken by AI agents. And a lot of US companies I talk to, they say that I think Utkarsh talked about hiring. Uh, Even other than hiring, human resource management. I think there's a lot of information previously that used to be there, and no one used to read through that. And they would ask a human resource expert about those questions. That okay, for X, Y, Z, what do I need to do? Now all of these things are powered by AI agents. If you need employee verification later, it's just one click. It submits a request. The person who needs to sign it just sign it and deliver it to your email. So all of this thing automation is going on as we speak about it. So we have talked a lot about like AI agents, but how many of you know what AI agents are? Like if you can use the chat window and talk about what are your like thoughts on AI agents, or what do you think about AI agents? What do you think they are? Feel free to use the chat. Uh, uh, so I'll maybe wait for a few seconds or a few minutes and just see. Uh, okay, AI agents are fully autonomous bots. Yeah, I think that's correct. Uh, yes, maybe someone yeah executes. Um yes, yeah, use multiple AI to complete the task. Yeah, I like that thing, Jarvis of Iron Man. So I think Jarvis of Iron Man is a great example, which is so I think great. I think all these examples are great. Yeah, so AI agents are a bot. Yes, so that's right. I think there's a lot of good I think points. Um, so yes, AI agents are smart and they're autonomous system, right? They are powered by the latest large language models plus a lot of latest technologies that we'll talk about, and they can work to a large extent without human intervention. So there are systems which needs AI in the loop. For example, healthcare and regulated domains like banks and things like that. But to a large extent, these AI agents can automate human workflows. So if you think about a human workflow, like for example, if you submit like a application for a loan, then this AI agents, the previously people, the bank manager, it will go through the bank manager who will review your loan application, then they'll send it to some other person and review it, and then send it back. So I was very surprised that a lot of these things are now automated. I applied for a credit card, when I first came into US, and the interesting thing was that my credit card got declined, right? I mean, they declined it, and then when I went to the bank manager and asked like why it got declined, the answer was like, okay, we have an automated system which does that in the back end, and since you just came, you didn't have a lot of history, so you looked up your history and you didn't find it, and hence it declined it. So they had to go and uh, kind of put a exception there to get that. So that is, so think about like the amount of human time saved in reading those application and going through all the data. So they have streamlined all the data like your credit score, your history, and now there is a bot which fetches this information, looks your application, looks at your bank account, and gives an a decision, right? So that is, I think, the power of AI agents. So AI agents is just not one model; it's a culmination of multiple models working together to automate a particular workflow, and it is basically powered by large language model. So what can AI agents do? It can plan on your behalf. It can make decisions on your behalf. It can reason on your behalf. Like it can reason that whether something is right or wrong. What is the right next step? It can reason. It has memory. It has like the past context of what has been happening, the past history of the user. It has a memory. It has two kinds of memory: short term, long term memory. So it has, like it can, if it needs, it can fetch longer term memory. It can search the internet. It can search multiple tools to take a decision. And all of these things, makes AI agents almost like a junior, like a junior member of your team. So if you're a coding, if you're working in software development, then AI agents are like a junior developers, and you write the instruction, you write the manual and design and give it to the AI agent, and it implements that for you. So that's how AI agents would, like, you can think about AI agents. For maybe a consulting company like environmental social governance ESG company, AI agents are their junior consultant. They look at all these reports and then they give recommendation. What is the what someone would do in climate or social or governance? What risk they have? What policy they are not aligned to? So these are like junior employees already of your organization, which are adopting them, and any organization adopting them are becoming, like light years, are leaping light years forward as compared to any organization that are not adopting some of this. And we'll see the disruptions that will happen because of AI agents. Um, so will it replace human or empower them? I think this is one of the biggest debates right now, and people have been debating. And I always, like, whenever I get to I you know I get this question a lot, especially like last year I spoke with a few people from movie industry, and my answer to this is that, like, go back to the internet era when internet came into being, uh, go back to the era of the industrial revolution when machines came into being. Did they replace human? Yes, of course. Like, traditional way of human work got replaced. Human cannot be replaced, but the traditional way of doing things got replaced. When computers came into being, people stopped doing accounting on books. They moved to computer. We stopped, like, using a lot of things like, for writing documents, and a lot of these things we moved to computers. Similarly, I think as we go, the traditional way of doing things will change, and it will be replaced by agents. So if you look back to the internet era, if you look back to the industrial revolution, would you say those technologies has replaced or empowered human? Right. I would say it's the second one, right? It's always empowering, and humans finds ways in which they can better contribute. So it replaced a lot of people who didn't actually uh, adopt those technologies. So companies which continue to working in the manual way post-industrial age got, they didn't prosper as compared to the other ones. Similarly, same thing, companies who adopted a lot of computers early on, or internet early on, they got a lot of boost as compared to others. So uh, and so how this AI agent kind of works. So at the central or heart of this is your LLM, this large language model, mixture of experts model. It's a huge, in any kind of big powerful large language models. And what does this do? So basically, like, these AI agents, it can help you to create proactive system. It kind of it looks at triggers, it looks at your dashboard, for example, and then it's figure out, oh, this has changed, so I should take this action. Maybe my inventory has gone down, or maybe there's an email saying that I should pay my credit card bill. So it goes on and automatically pays the credit card bill if you have given all the permissions. So it can do those proactively. It will help you save those time, right? And each of the tasks that it has a particular goal in mind. It has a goal of getting that task completed, and you have, and these AI agents can do those steps. You just have to connect the right tool and the right permission, the right data, and it can also plan those steps. You can either tell it explicitly how to do it, or it can also reason those steps out. um, the I think the biggest power of these models are that they can basically scrape a huge database and get the response. So I use ChatGPT a lot to when I am doing research and all these things, because it can summarize like a lot of papers in few seconds, which will take me days to read. And then I can ask questions and get what I want, rather than reading those entire papers, which has, like, huge unnecessary things inside them. um, and I think the biggest power that AI agents have, that if you allow it, you give the autonomy to it, it can do those tasks for you. And I think that is, the biggest power. That is what can is the disruption point that we're looking at. And this is totally possible in all of the areas where there is a standard operating procedure. Those areas will be completely automated by agents, because there is no way those agents would, the humans would be more efficient there. uh, if there are areas where there is decision making, complex decision making, humans would be more needed there, like, for example, medical or therapy, or all these things, like, regulations and all these things. So there human would be required. A lot of places, like, whether to deploy a system or not. So a lot of places in coding, where whether what is the architecture you need and things like that, those humans would be needed. But if you say that, okay, I need to implement a particular function, a particular backend or front end, you just tell the specification, and the better the specification, the better it comes up with the solution. But it can do those in an autonomous way, and then you can review it. So it saves huge amount of time. And a lot of these coding assistants are also right now agents. They're not anymore large language models, because it can now go to GitHub and pull the code. It can read a file line by line. So all these things, it can also run some of the codes in it inside. So all this has made it an agent, because the agent has those tools to execute tasks. A large language model can only look at a code and say, okay, this is how we write it, or this or write it. But it will not have all the power to go and fetch code, or to execute the code, or to do a CR. So all these things are only possible through agents. So basically, like, if you look at an agent, so AI agent, as I said, has a central large language model at its heart. But then it has connectors. So it of course, there's a user input component. It can connect with the database. It has its local memory or files or context that we talk about, and then it's outputting some action. And these AI agents can be connected with the internet or any other services through API. So it can call an API inside it. You can also connect these AI agents with sensors. For example, like a lot of medical industry, they are using sensors, and then the sensor data gets fed into the agents to monitor people's health. At real time, this can do that, and it can flag if something is happening and give like a decision, or a task. And this is, I think, a next big thing that is coming in telehealth, because so far in telehealth it was very difficult to take decisions. Right now, this monitoring can happen, and then experts can only come in when it is absolutely required, or there's a need. And you can actually optimize a lot of your resources using AI agents. So that's, I think, this sensor part is also coming up very fast in this space, how to connect sensor. So AI agents has so all these things are these connections are can be called as tools in some extent. The database and usually local files are called in a different name, but all of these things can be abstracted in a tool. And there is like a way in which all this coordination can be done. And the AI agents like coordinate with these tools and try to execute the task end to end, right? And all these like the CRMs and all these human resource management tools, they are all powered by these agents. ServiceNow made a big bet on AI agents. I think Atlassian and all these big companies, they have like they're working thoroughly on integrating AI agents, and we'll see some of this transform very, very quickly. So and hiring has become so much agentic that we can't help it, because for now it can go and scheme through a lot of candidates and find the right fit. And that's not only it can help the HRs, it can also help people to find the right job, instead of scheming through a job, or reading the job descriptions, or finding nuances around the job description. For example, like they might be writing, oh, you need to come to office and you want a remote job. Like now you only find it when you are you are second round in the interview, and it's like, oh, you just lost a lot of time, you wasted a lot of time. So you want to kind of save those times. So it can also look at your profile and say which is the right fit for you, and all these things can help both a candidate to find the right match, or also find the hiring panel to filter the right candidate. And I think this will become a lot better in finding bigger candidate and also like bringing into other aspect than just the resume into account, like looking at your GitHub code. So I think one of the biggest challenge for HRs is that they probably will can't look at your GitHub code or something that they don't understand because they don't have the domain expertise, and they might be just filtering based on the CV, whatever you have, whatever someone has written. So but with AI agents, you can actually they it can actually understand all these things. When we have written a paper which it understand that, and it can give that, okay, here someone has written a paper which has so much implications, or which is like so cutting edge, that they will be very much kind of like they will be good fit for this job, even though like the human HR might not have noticed that. So I think hiring is going to change a lot of ways. Software engineering and tech, hiring, or in general hiring is going to happen. Is going to change, and software companies are looking for people who can, not only software companies, any companies, like even companies which are non-software in nature, they are now going for candidates who might not have the best coding skills, but who can use AI agents to code, because a lot of people know that like no matter how you try, if you even if you hire the best person without their knowledge of use of AI agents, and they're the best coder, still a mediocre person, or a person with mediocre coding skill can beat them in implementation through AI agents. I think one of the biggest takeaway people are now looking for, right? So it's the age of computer, right? You can be you can do all of this math in your brain, but then someone with just like a computer comes up and then beats you. So I think that's kind of like one of the biggest trend, right? And one of the I think deploying agents is a bigger kind of a challenge as compared to machine learning models. One of the biggest things I think agent has brought is that it has brought machine learning or AI much closer to people. Previously it was only like when I started doing AI, it was only available to people who are has certain kind of degrees or certain kind of education. But now I think it has become anyone can build an agent. You be a software engineer, you don't have to really need the knowledge of AI and machine learning to build an agent. But to build an agent that works and the agent that gets into production, you need all of the skill sets, and you need all of the right tools and right knowledge of machine learning in production and things like that. So slowly we'll see two kinds of people emerging. We'll build agents which are more generic in nature, but they are not very deep. And the second one is building agents which embeds into the experience of products, experience of tools, experience of services. And I think the second class of people will be people who have knowledge about AI agents, how they work and how to make them work, how to deploy them in production. Because to make all this happen, there's now this already a protocol there for connecting AI agents with internet, so with different tools. So I think REST API came to connect different services with each other. So a very standard format. What REST API does, it kind of standardizes the way a service communicates with another service. So now this same similar thinking has come, because AI agents have been connecting with different kind of tools, like from databases to search engine to even like you can connect it to a lot of tools, like you can even connect it to code editors. You can write code, execute, and so it can have a bunch of tools at its disposal. And but all of these tools have very different language they speak. So to unify that language, this model context protocol has come. What it does is that it first of all it standardizes the language, or the format of the language. So and natural language, I mean, all these LLMs talks in natural language. So natural language is in general very unstructured. So it standardizes the way it put a format on top, and then the format that can be integrated with the LLM, and then it can give the context of the application, right? So basically for any LLM or any AI to work, it needs the context of what is going on. That is what is given. And the good thing about this MCP is it's a universal one. So any tool you want, you can define the MCP and you can connect with that tool. So you take the tool, any server or any kind of database or any kind of search engine, and you put a MCP layer on top, so that all whatever happening inside gets kind completely hidden. And then the large language model, which can connect, or AI agents which can connect with these protocols. They can just go talk with the protocol and get all the data. So you can add security, you can add standardization, you can add error handling, all on this MCP layer without worrying about this on each of the services side. So I think this is really, I think, a big change that is going on in the industry. People have been building MCP, I think, for the last 6 months, throughout tech industry. And this was something that Anthropic first, brought and made it popular. Now I think Google has another thing called agent to agent, which is like agents talking to another agents. MCP is like a subset of agent to agent. It's only for tools, but even agents can talk with another agent. And Anthropic kind of, I think, if you look at Anthropic's model like Claude, you'll see that MCP. I mean, they first integrated MCP for their Claude model to connect with a lot of tools. So if you see that, how that helps, I think maybe ChatGPT, GPT-5 has released this already, but before ChatGPT 5. The GPT-5 in ChatGPT, like, Anthropic had this nice feature where if you give it a GitHub code, it can go to the code and read it and then explain the code to you. And all this thing was possible because of MCP, because Anthropic was the first company that brought MCP. So they developed all these things which can connect with diverse kind of set of tools. And think about like a AI agent, a LLM, just going to the GitHub, reading all the code and then summarizing the code to you and telling you how to run it. So think about like the power it has in automation and in making things faster, right? And we will see, I think, 100 million AI agents is what NVIDIA CEO kind of projected. We might see more. I mean, it's like every company is building already like thousands of agents every day, right? And if you think about like if every one of us is using one AI agent, that will even cross this number way earlier. So I think 100 million might be too kind of a smaller numbers, going forward. It might go to billions. Is like as every one of us starts using agents, and we might be using multiple agents over the day. And so previously, before MCP, what used to happen, the agent is to connect with each of the tools separately, and this would be a huge overhead because there will be a lot of integration that is required. So MCP is a layer that unifies everything, and this gives a huge boost to, or a huge, like, a trust layer or a integration layer, or a standardization that can happen so that you don't have to manage a lot of these connections. So I think MCP has become the industry standard in most of the scenarios for agents. There are other protocols there, but they are usually more either related to MCP or a superset of MCP. I would kind of talk about like what is a like roadmap, and I think and this is what I also suggest to people they mentor, that you need to, like, if you are someone who is working in any industry, you need to, like, right now is the right time to kind of skill up about agentic AI. And I think what like depend, like, if you want to really build agents or really be in this space of AI, I think you have to learn how to build agents and how to make it work in production, like all these protocols. And I think you can only do it by learning and then building, projects, or building, like, showcasing them on portfolio. I just, like, we just built, I think, as a part of the hackathon, like we last week, I helped some students build a mental health bot, which is like a mental health agent. And then I think, this helps you to get your resume, like, filtered, and get you interviews, and then you can crack them, and that then you can be someone who is developing agents and also using agents in your daily life. So I think it's the right time, and a lot of people, like, I think they will also be using this in their company. So you might be a co-founder or someone, or you might want to use agents for your company as well. So I think it's not like only for finding jobs, but I think it would become de facto standard in any of the tech industry, and everyone will build agents. I was talking to one software engineers, and it's surprised that they are also building agents. And it's not surprise. I'm not. It's not surprising, but it was very interesting in the sense because you can use it for deploy or check all of your like operational tasks, right? All these things you can do with agents, and as a software engineer, you can give the context that, okay, for this kind of alerts, you respond like this. You can automate those stuff, right? So like it's not like AI people will build it, or everyone will be building agents. And the better understanding you have, the better agents you will build. So with that, I want to give a short demo, which is like a multi-agent, system that is there. So let me jump into this. So basically, I ran this one. So basically, this is a travel agent. So I think this is also a lot of boost happening in the travel industry. So I asked you that what is a plan a 2-day trip, for me to Dubai, and it responded like, I can help you with that. So this is something that is Hugging Face, and this has been developed by in interview Kickstart. So basically what it does is that it calls a bunch of APIs, and then it reads the internet and comes up with a summary like this, and says that, what do you want, right? Do you want cultural, historical, and based on that it gives you also an option, or you want like adventures, or you shopping, or leisure activities, and then it gives a list. And this is not something that is very odd. Actually, I was traveling in June, July, and even before that I was traveling, and I used this time, like this kind of chat GPT and all these things to plan, because it will take my requirement, my schedule, and plan according to me. Previously, I would get some random bits in the internet which doesn't fit my schedule, but it can actually fit my schedule. It can actually fit my budget. It can actually tell, take my personality and tell, oh, you are this person, so you should definitely do that. So it has so much information that it can help you, right? So this kind of agents can actually help you find the right programs, or right kind of experiences, or find the right hotels, because I find booking hotels so much pain, that like you can like, because maybe like the maybe like I like certain kind of hotels, and I don't want to see all this like fancy hotels popping up, which I don't want, right? So I need certain kind of facilities in the hotel. So I think all this travel agent can help me do that, right? So this is like a flight booking activity. So let's rerun this one. So let's try to see this live in action. So I can say, help me book a flight from Delhi to Mumbai on September 30th, right? So let's try to see what it does. It's kind of processing a bit. This completely running on open source. And so once it runs, it will give some response. So let's also try this. Okay, let me try here again. Sometimes it just stalls. Let's try this one. It is suggesting me some question. Let me try that. Sometimes the tools takes a lot of time to kind of respond. So let's wait for some time. Maybe I can take question in that. If you have any question, I can take that. Let me check the. uh, zoom into. We can. I mean, you can look at how it thinks and all these things. Sometimes it give it. This is using. I think this is using LangChain plus. I think the bot that is behind it is Gemini. This Gemini model is being used, and so this kind of built all on top of I think LangChain. Um, so okay, let's see. So I think a lot depends on like what kind of data you're trying to collect. So if you're so depends on how much that like to kind of collect that data. So let me see if this has run. No, it is still like running. Something has happened. Um, Let me try to restart this space. Just try one more time. No, I think it's stuck because of some reason. Let me try to see if I can make this work. I'll let Utkarsh kind of take over and talk about the details. So I'll stop my screen. So yeah,
So in the meanwhile, Devjyoti debugs what happens. I'll just walk you through the rest of the slides, and then we'll do the demo and we'll also take the questions. Okay, because a lot of you are asking how we can help you in creating agents. Plus, there are specific profiles where you are talking about uh, that I'm coming from, say, a middle management background. How can I showcase and so on? So these are profile specific questions. We are noting them down. We'll ask our program advisor to call you and give you guidance based on your resume. So what we do is we do resume based mentoring sessions with our career experts. Okay, so we'll be running a poll at the end if you are looking for resume based mentoring sessions. So what you can do is people who are coming from, say, non-coding background and so on, but still want to showcase AI in their job role. We will take those few of the applications from you. We'll connect you to the career expert, and they will help you out better how you can plan based on whether you are a TPM, PM, director of engineering, and so on, where you are not going to do coding on a day-to-day basis. So let me quickly show you how we can help you. So we do have a course, okay? And this course is based on doing projects. And this is not a theoretical course because I saw a question where someone was asking that how can I showcase it to employer that I'm using AI? Now, we did a survey of around 300 plus Mang hiring managers. We asked, okay, someone who is applying for job roles where AI is needed, or you are looking for a candidate where you want them to have certain level of AI ML knowledge, how will you figure out? So 88% of them said, I'll look for the portfolio of open source projects they have done or anything they have automated at their end. And a portfolio of two or three projects is enough for me to shortlist that candidate and then check in the interview whatever they have created, are they able to answer questions based on those. So this is how a hiring manager thinks, and that's how we started thinking of this as a course, that can we just, instead of teaching a lot of theory, LLM evolution and so on, these are the things which you can find on internet at free of cost, right? So we wanted to help technical professionals to create that portfolio of projects so that they get noticed by the employers. Now, this is about interview kickstart. I already introduced where we are from, what we do. One figure which you might find interesting is the kind of transition we have given in the last couple of years. So the average package for folks who have taken our course was 63 LPA and the highest was 2 CR. Now, these are the people who have taken the courses, transition into various product companies, tier one companies, and they are working in various AI ML role, right? Now, what will happen in the Agentic AI bootcamp? So, first of all, no theory, it's all hands on. It will be divided into two bits. In the first 4 weeks, you will build your first AI agent. Okay. You will use Google Firebase Studio to create a MVP. Then you will move towards a slightly advanced concept like how to introduce RAG, LangChain, and so on. In week 3, we will move to MCP capabilities. Okay, how you can do a MCP architecture, how you do MCP orchestration. Week 4, you deploy that agent on AWS. Okay, now this will be a simple agent. Now you have to create a multi-agentic system, right? That will happen in week 5 to 12. There we have three projects which you can choose from. They are from three different industry. You can take one of them and we will provide you data set, mentoring, and so on to implement those projects. Okay. And in the first 4 weeks, it will be sessions where in the class itself you will do create agents. Okay, it will not be a homework. An instructor will come, they will be building the agent along with you, and they will guide you through step by step, answer your queries as well if you are getting stuck in between. And then there will be discussions around various places where you can get stuck, because what I have seen is if there is a class of 25 students, 20 got it, 5 tried something new, they are getting stuck. So there is a very healthy discussion which is happening, where we are talking about the memory constraint, where we are talking about how to format the data while sending it to the agent, and so on. Now, who is going to teach you? So interview kickstart as a platform is led by practitioners like Debjyoti. These are the people who are implementing AI ML projects in their day job, and these are the people who are going to teach you. So we have around 700 plus instructors who work with us in creating those projects. And now you must be thinking, why AI ML practitioners? Why not professor? You must have seen last 3 years, everything is happening in these companies. Universities are not the one who are leading the AI revolution. There are a couple of reasons behind it, maybe access to the money, access to data, and so on. But all the cutting edge research is happening in these companies. Now, there are three projects which will be your capstone project. One is from hospitality sector, second is from uh, e-commerce, and third is from health sector. So let me give you one example. Say there is a project called Smart Shop AI. What you are going to do in this? Now you will create a multi-agentic system which can help you in choosing products. Okay, now I suppose you have to buy something for your household and so on. Say you have to buy a refrigerator, you will go to various websites, try to figure out which one to buy. You will do price comparison, you will go through reviews, and so on. Now you will create an agent which will simplify shopping for you, which will go to various portals and give you all the results and help you make the decision based on your preferences. So this will be a personalized agent which you will be creating end to end and deploy it in production as well. Now, apart from AI, building an AI agent portfolio, where we can help you. So we have deep expertise in interview preparation as well. We are working with hiring managers. So what you can do is combine this program with interview preparation for your domain. It could be software engineering, it could be a PM interview prep, or it could be a solution architect interview prep. And then think about transitioning to a tier one product company. Now, what is the cost? So the cost for Agentic AI Bootcamp is 70,000. It includes live classes, access to foundation materials, and one-on-one support when you are doing capstone project. If you want to do interview prep along with Agentic AI Bootcamp, the total duration will be around 6 months, depending on which domain you are coming from. The price is going to change. So either you will pay 1.4 or it will go as high as 2.2 lakhs. Now we are providing 30K scholarship on these courses up to 30,000. For that, you have to talk to our program advisor. For September cohort, we are full. We only 5 slots are available. And if you want to start for future, you don't want to start now, then you can enroll now and block your seat. Okay. So Debjyoti, can we go through the demo if it is possible? If you are speaking, you are on mute. We are not able to hear you.
Sorry. No, I think the person who has access needs to restart this. I think this is stuck somewhere. So do you have access to it? Can you restart the system? I think restarting
Let me
should
reach
work.
out to the person who has access to this
Yeah.
so that it can be restarted. You can start with the poll Q&A. People, you can put your question in the Q&A box, chat, or raise your hand. We'll try to take as many questions as possible. In the meanwhile, we'll go ahead and launch a poll. If you wish to know more about our program offerings, okay, whether it is interview preparation and so on, please click yes. And if you want, if you are interested in resume based counseling, right, that I'm currently at XYZ organization, I want to move to XYZ ABC company, what is the pathway, how can I do it, we will select the top 10 people who will say yes to the poll, and will go ahead and do the resume mentoring for them. Okay, so we have are already 12 people have selected. We'll just restrict the slot at 15. In the meanwhile, Debjyoti, can we continue with the Q&A?
Yeah. Let me look at the questions.
Yeah, you have a question from Nidhi who's asking, I am from QA testing, no coding background. Will this course help?
Yeah, I think building agents for everyone. I think, and all the prerequisites and all these things are already provided. So if you can code or you have basic knowledge in Python, you or even if you want to learn Python, I think you can learn all these things. And I don't think, like like as I said, like agents are being built by everyone throughout technology stacks.
Okay. Anandan wants to know how useful is AI for cybersecurity domain?
It is, I think, a lot useful because I think people are using AI chats or AI agents as a way in which it can do different kind of testing, look through security risk because it can process a vast amount of data. Like one of the examples can be like think about like a I think the most common risk for any company is getting phishing emails. I have like clicked on emails which were not a setup for the right reason, and it is a massive breach for any company. So I think about like some agent just going to the mailbox and filtering emails for this kind of risk. So it gives certain knowledge to it, and it can go. and it can figure out, right, from the link it can know what's going on. So I think even in some smaller situations like this kind of cybersecurity risk, it can solve it. But now I think agents are being used as pair programmers, or things which can help you fix a bug. So it is massively empowering cybersecurity experts as well.
Sure. Utkarsh or Devjyoti, either of you can answer this. Dev Rao has this question that he has 15 years of experience in data warehousing, BI, and data engineering. Uh, how will this course help him? So basically, I think he wants to know how will adding agentic AI skills help him after 15 years of work as a data engineer.
Uh, I can take this question maybe. Like I think, so
Sure.
I think uh, a lot of data engineering work. I think it doesn't matter like where you are in your journey. The thing is like this space is kind of like we're getting disrupted, right? So even if you're a leader in your space, you need to like chart out what is the right path for your team and for your organization to implement some of these things. So you need to understand it to help chart that path. Uh, and for a junior data engineer who's starting, or medium, mid experience engineer, I think the challenge is that, okay, how can I set up these pipelines or set up these data engineering tools in much efficient way, right? And right now, I think I know of a couple of teams in one of my friends' company where they have used AI agents to completely automate the analyst kind of work. So only a certain kind of data requests come to the analyst or the data engineers there, and they set up those pipelines. A lot of people asking for ad hoc request of data, and data engineers saying, "Oh, I don't want to do this job. I want to set up bigger pipelines." I think that is getting solved with agents. Agents are getting connected with different data sets, and also like I think a lot of data engineers are now helping set how agents access data, and then like agents to pick the right instances given the size of the data. So all these things are being already being done by data engineers right now. So I think yeah, data engineers would be huge in building agents, and also in kind of integrating agents with existing data workflows.
Amazing. So anybody at any stage of their career at this point of time uh, can hop onto this bandwagon of agentic AI. That's pretty helpful. We can also take some live questions. So any member in the audience who wants to ask any questions, either related to agentic AI roadmap for themselves or even about the bootcamp program that Utkarsh presented, we can unmute you. You can raise your hand and we can unmute and take your question.
Maybe you can take one more stab at the demo.
Sure.
It
Yes.
just responded to me like after some time.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
refreshed it, so maybe you can go ahead and present it.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. So let's try the same old query. Flight from Delhi to Dubai. I think let's try Bangalore. Because it might not have external flight access. On September. So it says that it kind of it has a rate limit violation, right? So that is I think why it was giving an error. So I think we have exhausted a lot of I think rate limit or quota values. So we can try something else. Like maybe can you? I think this Google Gemini getting rate limited. So okay, I think that's the challenge. So you
Maybe
can
we
see that
need to
like
buy
yeah,
more credits here.
buy more credits. Yeah, so basically we have to buy more credits here. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to set up with my API. I don't have access to this one, but maybe I can try with my setup. I'm almost done, but yeah, you can continue. I'll just try to see if I
Sure.
can make my setup work.
So then there is a question from Satish. Did we took this question, Niyati? How AI
Not
can
yet.
help provide
Not yet,
business?
Utkarsh. We can go ahead and take that.
So, Satish, I'll try to answer and will take help from Devjyoti also because I have faced this problem. Okay. And we are working on a solution in our company itself. So there is a clean reporting which you want to do using AI, right? And it's straightforward. You just need to make sure that, and we are trying to build this on cloud, that uh, the model is able to understand the structure on your tables. Okay. There will be a lot of tables with a lot of names. What you need to do is that make sure that you are able to explain the model in clear detail about the taxonomy which you are following, the naming convention you are following. Okay. After a few trial and error, it will be able to generate query based on what you are asking. Okay, say you want to predict the sales based on your sales pipeline for a B2B SaaS company, the example which we were taking, right? And you have shared the table structure, etc. What it will do, it will go ahead, write a query, get the data from cloud and present it in form of table and also give you a very clean result. Okay, and you can create an agent out of this, and the beauty of this agent will be you can ask any question you, and it will give you the result along with few recommendations also. So this is how it can be done. Devjyoti, I took a stab at it from my side, but will listen to your expert insights as well.
No, I think you're spot on. I think I just completely agree that yeah. Yeah, I think there are a lot of use cases that are kind of, like, and one of the things that is kind of becoming very key is domain expertise. People are adding a lot of domain expertise and building on top of that. So a lot of domain experts are kind of now coming and building that agent. I was actually talking to some person I met over coffee, and that person is a investment, like expert, or works at an investment firm. They're trying to build an agent to help companies figure out where to invest, and they're using all of their secret and all these things in that agent, so that now it can help many more companies. So yeah.
Yeah. So one example I'll give from my side as well, because I talked to a couple of friends who are in consulting, okay, and what they are trying to do is normally all the data which they have, right, what client they worked on, etc., is protected, so they cannot upload it on, say, Claude or Gemini or anywhere. So they are fine tuning their own LLM model and building a agent on top of it, so that what it will do is it will start creating presentations for RFP responses directly. It will take all the slides which are existing in their databases across geographies, right? Because these consulting companies are huge. It will take the data from there and create responses for various projects directly with beautiful slides. And now their hiring requirement for entry level consultants have reduced drastically because of that. I
Yeah,
think we have the demo ready, so we'll move to the next question after this.
yeah, let's try. Okay. Right. To my hometown first. So it gave me three options. Actually, it gave me four options. More flights from Delhi to Kolkata, and say uh, you have to choose just one thing.
In the meanwhile, folks who are still on this call, very sorry the demo didn't go as planned. So the person who has like all the credentials for this demo, her mother is sick and she has to be admitted to hospital. She is currently in emergency ward, so we were not able to access. And thanks to Devjyoti, he has built it on the fly. So yeah,
Uh, Yeah, so I think, see, it can, so it's thinking like a human. You likely want a good deal, and nobody wants to spend forever in transit. This depends on your personal preference. Generally less hassle. So it's choosing Indigo. I don't know whether there is a bias for Indigo. Last time also it gave me an Indigo flight, good balance of price. However, it arrives at midnight, and it's kind of so it is giving all these in options. Flight offered the best combination, right? So I think. However, if you are really trying to save money, don't mind arriving late. Is a decent alternative. So yeah, unfortunately, this we can't book the flight because it doesn't have the credential to do that. But so again, say let's go ahead. It will just say that that contact your travel agent or something like that. So yeah, so that's, I think, yeah. So I think I think, but if you can connect with the tool that can book the flights, it can just do that, right? Because all the information, it probably needs a credit card or something like that, and it will go through. So I think it also has the power to like reason, because it is kind of thinking all these parameters and how human thinks, and give you that option, right? Uh, so yeah, I think this really, I'm very I'm very looking forward to see travel, because travel is such a hassle for me. I do see so many things. Like having some automation at least figure out my travel things, itineraries, that would be a great help. At least they're giving me two options rather than 100 options. I really want that kind of a tool. I think already big companies are working on some of these things. So yeah, this is a great, I think, use case.
No, yeah. Please complete, Debjyoti.
No, I think, yeah, that's all from the demo. I stop sharing
So,
and let people
yeah,
ask questions.
there is a
Yeah.
question from Devi Priya, and the question is, how can I showcase this AI agent on my profile for a job change without creating AI agents, only having knowledge for AI applications and tools also? Devi Priya, I have given you option to unmute yourself. Can you walk us through your profile? That way we will be able to guide you better. You have to unmute from your side
I think
and
as a software developer engineer, SDET engineer,
okay.
in the so I believe like software developer engineer, T is, I don't know what the T stands for, but uh, so yeah, I think if you're a software engineer, like you have all the things at your disposal. This I think all of this is built on a lot of software, a lot of ML ops has gone into it. So uh, this I think AI agent is not only for AI engineers. It's for software engineers. If you're in, like people are asking if I'm QA testing, you have a lot of testing domain experts, so you can build agents which can help do testing better. But if you want to build a travel agent, you can totally do that. I think it took me 5 minutes to replicate all of these things. So just like I knew what to put in, and it kind of worked. So, and I didn't do much of a coding. I just like reconfigured everything and it started working. So I didn't like needed a lot of ML knowledge to do it. I just like So I think a lot of these things have become so much standardized that you really don't need the understanding of this AI ML model. Yes, if you want, you can go deeper, or you can build the application side, right? So I don't think like you need a lot of AI ML knowledge. You need more like there's a Indian term, it's called jugaad. So I think there's the age of jugaad, because anyone who is using this can make things work much much faster. And it's not much dependent on what you have learned so far. It's just like do you want to learn more and get that extra bit of thing to get this one like working.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Mm,
Any follow-up
so
question,
actually,
Devipriya, on this?
yes. So I'm
Yeah.
not satisfying with this answer because right now I'm learning this AI agent. So
Mhm.
I want to know a little bit more about this. Like I did not like implement this AI agent tool in our project. So like right now I'm learning. So and also I want to switch a job right now. So how I will showcase this thing, this AI agent thing to my profile without building any AI agent tool.
without building any AI agent tool. Let me take
Yes.
a stab at this, Devjyoti. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought maybe I am able to understand. See,
Yes.
Devi Priya, there are two
Yeah.
things. Okay, we did a survey, and I have posted this earlier, but again I will repeat it with 300 plus hiring managers. We asked them, if you are hiring for software developers, AI engineers, okay, and these people don't have prior experience. And given there are a lot of people who have not worked on it, but they will work on it for the first time because these job roles are getting created. So,
Yes.
how do you shortlist such people? 88% of the people said the best way for me to shortlist such people is having some projects on their resume which I can go and test the way we did a demo right now. It is a small one, but you can create more bigger multi-agent system. Now that gives you shortlisting. Okay, once the shortlisting is done, and I already talked about interview prep lab. So there are coaches, right, who are hiring managers currently working in man companies like Jyoti. They will take your mock interviews. They will also teach you how to solve questions on DSA, how to solve questions for system design rounds, say backend engineering round, and so on. So a combination of both will help you get a transition. So if you are just learning AI agent and you want to use in your current job, very well. If you are looking for a transition, learn AI agents, help that to get a shortlisted. Okay, and we also have career coaches in our uh, like ecosystem. So these people are going to sit with you, take a look at your resume, tell you, okay, these currently you are working at X level in ABC company. These are the 30 companies which you can target. They will help you in changing your resume based on job roles. They will teach you how to make your resume ATS compliant so that it is getting shortlisted. So it's a combination of the whole ecosystem which I have talked about will help you to transition, not just doing a project on agentic AI, but being AI enabled is the baseline in today's day and world. You can take more inputs from Devjyoti on this, but in all the profiles we see there is a lot of requirement when it comes to AI knowledge. There people are hiring data engineers and having a AI round. So you can see how the world is changing, and we want you to be on the right side of the wave rather than getting swept away by the wave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got
Okay.
it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it.
Thank you. Now the next question is from Payal. Payal is asking, I'm new to AI. Can I start with agent development? Payal, I am just unmuting you if you are there. Can you go ahead and talk us through your profile? So what you exactly do? And Devjyoti is here. He will be able to tell you whether you will be able to pick up this skill or not.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, Payal, you
Yeah.
are audible.
Okay. So I'm working as an engineering manager. I have 14 years of experience total. So I want to start with the AI, but I'm not getting the exact starting point. AI agent is something that I can see it's a buzzword. So I just thought that if like I can take any simple use case and I can try building AI agent, but I just wanted to know, is that a right approach, or I should do something else as a foundation and they then go for AI agents?
Yeah. So I think uh, I think that the if your core is understanding, how AI works, there are multiple routes you can take, right? You can go all the way to theoretical AI or machine learning and learn all these things, or you can start with something applied, right? Usually, what I have seen for people who have been in the industry and the applied route works better because it gives you maybe take out 1 or 2 hours and do something.
Right.
So I think building AI agents or building some POC projects is the right thing. Then you can kind of understand what is going on, right? The understand some of the tools. If you want to dive deeper, then there are two ways, right? One is that you self-learn, right? And usually it's very hard to self-learn in our day-to-day jobs. I think that's probably where different courses and some boot camps or some courses like this can help, right? So and I think doing some small projects will help you to figure out which is the right course or right area to go into. What is your interest? What is your long term goal, right? If your long term goal is that, okay, I want to be expert in AI agents, and that is, I think, then you take a course which allows you to do that. If your long term goal is that, no, I want to become an ML researcher, then probably you need a different route, right? So all this depends on what is your long term goal is. And if you're still figuring out your long term goal, short term, like, you build some projects, and then you will also learn, you take some courses and all these things, and that's, I think, help you to figure things out, right? And in your company, in every company, AI agents and all these things will be coming, right? So you can play a bigger role in adopting and do this if you have this knowledge, right? If you have this knowledge, like, you go to meetings and all these things, and you have this knowledge, then you will become a thought leader there, right? If you don't have this knowledge, then it's very hard, right? Because then, so I think, right, the time and the space is kind of exploding very, very fast. It's kind of like rapidly progressing. So it's just like, how can you get more and more done rather than, like, like contemplating a lot, right? So I think I would say, like, start with some projects and move fast, and kind of learn these tools, and then figure out what you want to do. For a more experienced person, who is unlikely to change their direction and kind of go into a completely different, like, ML research and this kind of route, I would say, like, more applied route, like building agents, would be a great, I think, skill set for you. And that you can also help you drive a lot of your company's decision, company's roadmap, which agents to build, right? What kind of engineering challenges are there? Because whenever this kind of system stuff comes, right, a lot of people right now say that, how do I improve the AI part? AI part, there are people to improve the AI part. You talk about how about the engineering thing, right? This like, this latency is there, right? I got an error, and that error was not a very graceful error, right? It told you that, that, and think about, like, if I'm as a customer, how my experience would be. So from an engineering point of view, someone would have, if this app was implemented in the best engineering practices, then someone would gracefully say, oh, I can't, do that, or to not get stuck, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do on the engineering side. Probably it is getting stuck on latency. You can improve the latency part, right? So all these things are there. So someone coming from cybersecurity, I can usually hack, this system, right? I can get all the secret information about someone because it is connected with data. Someone can work on the cybersecurity part, right? Someone is from QA testing, and they say, oh, I will this with AI agents, the whole paradigm of testing will change, because now, if you have looked at recent, reports, this being called as software 3.0. I mean, this is not like software 2.0 as AI and machine learning that has passed. Now this software 3.0, because now machines are writing code for us. So and in this, retrospect, right? So this becomes paramount that, like, everyone, like, irrespective of what tech role you have in tech industry, you will have a role to play. So it's like, but you can only play that role if you understand how things are working or how these agents work, and then you can know what is your contribution, where you can help. With the AI ML part, yeah, so be it. If it is a security part, so be it. So that would be my kind of suggestion.
Thank you, Vibjyoti. These
Uh,
are valuable suggestions.
Yeah, I'll add one thing. See, for the agentic AI bootcamp, if you have coded in the past, that will be enough. Any language is also okay. We'll give you a Python refresher if needed. So that is the only thing which is required. I